Good morning, everyone. This is Cliff from QNAP. I'm the sales manager here, and then we also have Deval, our product manager here. So today we are going to talk about our QSearch and then also how we improve the QSearch with all the AI functions. Okay, so start from the QSearch. I think everyone probably already or kind of use QSearch before already. It's like a Google search bar and then search all your data in the QNAP NAS, right? So you just need to input your keywords on this bar, and then you can find out all the files, different formats, and list it out for you for all the informations in the QNAP NAS, in your QNAP NAS. Okay, so similar document image suggestions. So right now you can select your images or documents, any kind of format documents, and then you put a keyword on it. Qsirch will actually help you to search on similar documents. For instance, you put the food right here, you can see the hot dog, pumpkins, macaron, all these kind of food pictures, images coming out. And then also on the right down corner, there's more suggestions, right? And then, on the file text as well, like a PDF, you can also put in your keywords. You can select PDF and then put in your keywords, and then, you will have a lot of suggestion documents that you can find.
Yeah, so this is like a keyword search, like similar search, right? So for example, if you're searching for example, for me, I'm a product manager with QNAP, so I have a lot of product PDF documents that I go through, that I make solution brief. I also make like product spec sheets and everything like that. So if I search for a specific spec sheet, QNAP will actually will give me suggestions at the bottom right corner. So you may also like other spec sheets as well. So it actually uses AI to generate that similar documents. Similarly for images, if you have a certain person that you're looking for, remember QSearch can also support facial recognition. So if you search for a certain person, it will actually also give you suggestions for photos of that person on the bottom right corner. So it proactively finds similar images that you may want to see next, instead of you going to search for something that
more specific.
Yeah.
All right, and then we also have this semantic plus keyword kind of search. This is actually pretty cool. You can basically put the criteria like I want to see the animal in the green garden, and the QSearch will also help to find the images that has this criteria. Like you can see all the animals on the green gardens. You can also put something like wine glasses on the table, or food in the restaurant, so you can search. It will help you to search the images or document much easier, or something like a red car, or any type of a car will show up with a red car on it. Okay. And then we also have this called text detection with OCR. So basically, QSearch can also do the text detection. We support 11 different kind of language, and then you can also mix the different languages. You can see you can put Chinese plus English. So not just the English or any kind of language. You can actually put two languages search on the same image. Okay, and then you can crop it, and then you can do some editing after you crop it. Okay.
Yeah, so this you can use for your benefit too, right? So if you have a scanned documents, and then you want to take out some words, or you want to take out the whole whatever it's written in that scanned document, you can use the OCR to actually copy and paste from that scanned document. So if somebody gives you a paper and you scan it on your printer, and you just upload that to QSearch, and QSearch will then allow you to take out the words from that particular scanned document. It could be your license plate, could be your passport, could be pictures of, as you see in the example, pictures of license plates. All of that is now available. So you can use this feature to take out text from images using the OCR features. And we do support 11 languages. So if you have pictures or words from different languages, you can use that to also grab information from the OCR.
All right, so document search with AI-based smart keywords. So these actually give you some like keyword suggestions, basically. So when you try to type in, for instance, like we type Quora, they also give you the, like router switches, all these kind of related keywords. So it's easier for you to, or narrow down your search in this case. Okay. All right, we also have this image search as well. Well, people image search is more like a facial recognition, right? So basically, when you crop the face, the Qsirch will help you to look for all the picture for this person. And then we also have the crop and search and objects. So you can also crop something. For instance, you crop a ball right there. The Qsirch will help you to search all kinds of different balls, even it's a soccer, it's a golf, or even basketball or baseball kind of things. Okay. And then QSearch will also help you to do the recognition, object recognition, and then also classification, basically categorize your images. So, any kind of this is automatically happen. So once you import all the images on your QNAP NAS, QSearch can actually show, different categories for your images and pictures. All right, so this is start from here is the exciting part. So the Qsirch with reg solution. This is actually this is something we're going to introduce to you guys how our AI search on the Qsirch is. So basically, can we blend ChatGPT and the Qsirch basically with the reg on the Qsirch? It's called reg search, right? Yeah. So basically, we will give you more information, like when you search a keyword or some kind of situation. Basically, QSearch now can give you more and more organized answer. Okay, so Deval will help us to introduce some, what is RAG and what is LLM, all these terms.
All right, so yeah, this is our new exciting feature that we're introducing with the new Qsirch. It's still in beta, but you can actually access it today, and you can use this feature today. When you talk about ChatGPT or Gemini or any other AI models, when you try to search for data, it actually does not use your own documents to generate answers, right? It's an amazing tool if you want to ask questions about just like general topics, internet topics, any kind of current topics that you want to get information about. But what about your own documents? So I want to use ChatGPTs on my own documents and able to, I want to use AI in my own document and be able to generate answers based off my own document. So that's where the RAG features with Qsirch will come into play. So what is RAG? RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it's a pretty cool concept. Think of it like giving your AI a personal library. So instead of making guesses, it can actually find real answers from your documents. In QSearch AI, RAG means smarter, faster, and way more reliable search results based on your own data. So let's have a look at the RAG architecture first. So as you can see on the flow diagram or on the architecture diagram, which explains in brief about general RAG architecture. As you can see here, there are some important elements. First is, of course, the on-prem data, which is saved on your QNAP NAS. That's QNAP NAS with your own documents is your on-prem data. The second is embedded models. The third one is vector database. The fourth one and is the last one, but not the least, is the LLM cloud-based model, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, or other services. So on the on-prem data is indexed through our embedded model. So if you know about Qsirch, when you upload your documents on the Qsirch first does what it does is it indexes your data. So it understands your data and it indexes that for you. So it also helps with when searching back, right? When it searches back your data, it's actually really fast. It's because it goes through the indexing process. So and it's stored in the vector data. That information is actually stored in the vector database. Then when a query is fired from the user, so when you're looking for any information, like I want to understand, let's say for example, I want to go back in April and get my information about how many hotels that I have booked. So that's your query that you have fired from the user. The query is encoded using the embedded model and is searched in the vector database. So first it looks in your own documents for that particular information. Now, through the vector database, it gets the relevant documents that it matches the query. So it will look at your database, it will find the relevant files that matches your search. And once a search is identified, it actually uploads that into or it feds that information to the LLM model or the cloud-based LLM model. And with this, and with the help of its generating capabilities, the LLM model will generate a response based off the shared data with it. And the response is shown to the user. So this is a full cycle of how a general RAG architecture works. So when we look at Qsirch specifically, so you can see right here, when you ask a question, the RAG search will get information or will go to the Qsirch database inside your NAS, get the relevant documents based off the search information. Like for example, what's the breakdown of the sales by region? That's a question I have asked the Qsirch. Qsirch will look at your database to find all the information regarding the sales information about the regional sales information. Once that information is found, it will actually upload that to the cloud LLM model with the relevant documents and the question you have asked. The LLM model will generate an answer for you and it will provide that answer in the Qsirch. For example, North America is 45%, Europe is 35%, Asia is 20%. So instead of opening the documents or going into the QNAP, first of all, you need to find the document, right? Once you find the document, you need to open the document, go through the document and find that answer for you, right? But with the new Qsirch, the QNAP will actually find that information and then once it finds that information, you uses ChatGPT or Gemini to give you an answer, a generative answer that you can actually understand easily instead of opening the document. So with Qsirch and LLM with RAG, it combines the QNAP's proprietary search technology, which is based off Qsirch, and it integrates one of the cloud LLM models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Azure OpenAI, and then user can use the API key to access that one of these features and configure that API key into the Qsirch. Qsirch will use this configured LLM services to extract the context awareness and elaborate an answer for you. So here's an example of, here's an example, right? I can put in an information about a document. I can ask a question to QNAP without the Qsirch LLM model or without the LLM feature. It won't be able to find the document, right? So you can see right here, I've generated a question for the QNAP, but because it's not using any kind of LLM model, it's not going to be able to generate an answer for me. So what I have to do is I have to just look up boot failure, and then it will generate information about the documents. Now, it just generates information about the document, but you have to click open the document and find the answer for yourself. Well, let's see what happens when I use an LLM model. So if I ask the same question with LLM, you can see the query right here and the generated information from the ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever LLM model you're using. It actually gives you information about the whole answer that you're looking for, or at least and this is based off your documents, right? It's not information that is grabbing off the internet. It's actually going based off the document. It won't use internet results for this information. It uses LLM from the internet to be able to generate an answer from your own documents, and then it will give you an answer based off of that.
So in this case, you can ask more like private questions, right? Because it's all what's your driver license or like the previous driver license number, something like that, or if your driver license expired, those kind of things.
Yeah. So personally, I have a lot of scanning of my documents that I do with my QNAP NAS, right? Once I scan, let's say for example, my passport, my driver's license, I upload that information on my QNAP NAS. So in case if I want to, let's say if I'm booking a flight overseas and I need my passport information, I don't have to go back ask. If I'm not at home, I don't have access to my passport, right? But because my QNAP is actually secure, I can actually just save that document inside my QNAP. So with now, if I use QSearch with LLM, I just ask what is Devol's passport information or passport expiry date or passport number. Since it has a screenshot of my passport, it will actually be able to generate that information. It will give me the passport number, my expiry date, all of that information provided in the generate. So I don't even have to open that document. I just have to ask QSearch that question. Same for license plate. So I just ask my license plate information. It'll give me that information. And the best part is it actually gives you information about what document it's been using to give you that answer. So if you want to get more detailed information, you just open that document and it'll get that information. So you don't have to worry about, or you don't need to guess which document that information came from. So who can benefit from RAG search, right? So no, there are a lot of different use cases for RAG search. Like one of them could be sales and marketing team. So if the customer has information about product issues and you have a lot of documents that you upload, like PDF documents or PowerPoint information or any kind of documents that you upload. Like for example,
even like an invoice you send to your customers, or if you try to check like what's this customer's price, you can always put the customer name and then the model number and what's their price, what's their cost. And then also like price book, of course, you can use as well. So there's well, it's just like it's like an AI search in your NAS. So you can ask a lot of questions and they'll generate summarize your question answer for you, right?
Exactly. And then again, other industries, not just sales and marketing, right? Other industries like more like the industries that rely heavily on documents are like legal agencies, right? Or lawyers or healthcare professionals. We have a lot of companies that use QNAP in the healthcare organization, like dentist, like
we are
other.
also the HIPAA appliance as
Yeah,
well.
since we are HIPAA or appliance, so QNAP can be used on healthcare organizations as well. So those are the industries that rely a lot on documents, right? They have a lot of PDF documents about patients and all of that information. So with Qsirch, you can now, let's for example, in a dentist case, they can just find an information about a particular patient. Just type that patient's name and just type the question you wanted to ask them, and that it will generate an answer for you rather than going through your documents, looking for the patient file, opening the patient file, and then get the information. Just ask QSearch, I just need information about this patient. It will quickly generate that for you. Similarly for lawyers or legal agencies as well, just start asking questions in QSearch and will generate an answer for you. So those are the information. Those are use cases that a lot of customers can use this feature for. Academy or research institution, again, relies a lot of on documents as well. Again, these are the industries that can best use these features. All right, so how to get started with QSearch with RAG search, right? It's available on the QSearch version 5.6.0. Again, as I mentioned, it's still in beta, so you may find some bugs here and there. You can always feel free to report them as well, but it's available right now. Just go to App Center, update your QSearch or install QSearch and start using this feature. First of all, you need to get the API key. So we will upload this document on our follow-up email, as well as the YouTube channel that we're going to be uploading our final recording at. So you can find all of these links, but you need to first get your API key. So for Open API, you can visit the documents, the website you can see right there. Even for Gemini, so whatever ChatGPT models you want, or whatever AI models you want to use, you have to go to that model. First, you need to generate an API key. Once you generate an API key, in the settings of the QSearch, go to RAG search and then just choose the right provider and then generate or put the API key that is generated for you and select which model you want to use. always make sure you verify to ensure that the feature is working. Once you have that, you need to add the RAG folders. Um, the RAG folder is the folders where the ChatGPT can access or can and access to generate the information for you. Right. So as I mentioned, just for OpenAI or Azure OpenAI, just add the API key, choose the model. Similarly for Gemini as well. And then what file types are supported currently? Currently, we support text documents or TXT documents, Excel documents, Word documents, PowerPoint documents, emails, and PDF files. So if you upload any of these files onto your QNAP NAS, you can use the Qsirch with RAG to be able to generate an answer for you. All right, so again, this is the interface that you all are used to, right, with Qsirch. But if you can see right there, there's a RAG search, which is highlighted right here in red. That's where, so if you type something here as a question, it's not going to be able to answer that because it's still using the old model. But if you click on the RAG search, it will open up a new interface, and that's where you can start asking questions that you wanted to ask with the Qsirch. As I mentioned, this is the example of what we went through before. Ask the question, generate the answer, see the reference files that you can see from where the answers were generated. And then you can also find the history as well. So if you have searched a lot and you want to go back and search the history of what, like for example, when you want to look at the same answers that were generated before, just go to search history, and then you can click on the old search, the questions next, the search bar next to the question, and it will go back and it will generate the answer for you again. So you can select which file types you wanted to maintain. You can actually, if you don't have a lot of, if you don't want to have Qsirch access to PDF documents, you can uncheck that. Or you can uncheck emails. You can uncheck specific file types if you don't want the QNAP to generate answer from those file types. As I mentioned, we are compatible with a lot of other LLM services as well, like DeepSeek, Grok 2, and other LLM platforms that support OpenAI API compatible APIs. And we do have the Qsearch currently supports 23 languages offered in QTS and QTS Hero. Those include from Chinese, Danish, English, French, and a lot more languages. Again, the LLMs can support up to 80 languages, but we have only 23 that we support right now. We may be able to expand that in the future as well. And benefits, as I mentioned, it gives you information. Instead of giving you file, like the file types you're searching, it will actually generate the answer for you instead of having you to open that file. It's always updated. Remember, this is based off your own data. So it's the most latest data that you have in your QNAP NAS, the answer is generated from that data. The data is always private and never used to retrain by LLM providers. Remember this, when the Qsirch uploads this data, it's only temporary. The LLM model would not be storing your information on their model, and it cannot be used for retraining them. Again, your data is not shared with any other customers. You can always look at the reference link provided in the PowerPoint to get privacy information about LLMs. Again, the LLM usage options, we have subscription-based models or self-deployed in cloud, such as Azure with OpenAI API files as well. In the future, we will be deploying our own locally hosted locally hosted LLM models, but right now there's no ETA for that. Now, as I mentioned, these are the documents that you can search on your local NAS, but a lot of our customers also have documents. For example, the best example I can give you is my company, right? So QNAP uses Microsoft suites of application for their documents, right? So we have Teams, we have Teams, Microsoft Outlook, all of that features, right? That includes 50 gigs of OneDrive account that each of our employees or each of the QNAP employees would get. I think it's not 50. I think it's 1 terabyte of OneDrive account that each of our employees would get. and we upload all of our documents, a lot of our documents, sales teams, product management teams, support teams, they upload a lot of documents in their own OneDrive account. So what happens, what if you wanted to use OpenAI or no, ChatGPT or any of these LLM services with QSearch on those documents? You don't have to worry about that, because with hybrid mount, you can always connect these cloud services with the QNAP NAS, and then you can use QSearch on top of that. So QSearch can use hybrid mount to connect to OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, any other cloud service, and access all your cloud data to be able to generate an answer for you. So that's another feature that QNAP supports as well, right? Now let's take a look at how this feature works and few examples of this feature. So give me 1 second. Now, if you have any questions that during this presentation, you can always keep asking that on the Q&A section or in the chat section, and then we'll answer that for you once we hit the Q&A section. All right, so as you can see right here, I'm going to log into my QNAP NAS. All right, so if you don't have the QSearch app installed, just visit the App Center. Once you visit the App Center, you can look up Qsirch. And then if it's not installed, just click on install and it will install the application for you. But if it's installed, just click on open. Now, if you're going to be using this feature for the first time, just as I mentioned, this is the regular model that the QNAP QSearch comes with, right? This will help you search for documents inside your QNAP NAS, but it won't be able to generate an answer for you. Now, to do that, first you need to visit these the 3 dots on the top right corner and click on settings. Here, go to RAG search. Select the current LLM model that you want to use. So you can use Gemini, OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, or even any compatible OpenAI API. Once you select the current model, enter the API key from that model. Select which model you wanted to use to search, and click on verify. It will give you a green verified sign. That means the OpenAI, whatever model you're using, it's been verified. You can start using this particular model. Now scroll down and you can see right here which folder you want the RAG feature to be enabled on. So go to add and select the folders that you want on your QNAP NAS. So I have created a special folder called Qsirch, but I also added my my cloud OneDrive account as well. Now, as I mentioned, you can use the hybrid mount. So you just install hybrid mount on your QNAP NAS. Right here. I have connected, so you can see right here I've connected my OneDrive account. So now I can access that account or access all of the data on that OneDrive as if it's on my local NAS. It's like so it's using a cache space on my QNAP NAS to be able to access that data. So you can see right here all of my OneDrive account is all I can see right here. This is not stored on my QNAP NAS. It's actually from my OneDrive account. It just sees it as if it's on my local device. So once I've connected the OneDrive, I can actually just add that into the QSearch RAG feature, so it can also generate that information from that account as well. All right, so let's take a look at what happens. So let's see what happens when I try to just search for something with the QSearch regular app, right? So let's say, for example, how I wanted to understand how much I spend on my hotels in 2025. So I'm just going to type that information. And if I search it, again, it's not going to be able to answer that for me because it's still using the old, still using the non-LLM model. But let's see what happens if I go to so go back. All right, you can see the main menu again. To access the RAG feature, just click on the RAG search option, and that's where it's going to be able to generate, or it's going to open the RAG interface. So now if I search for the same thing, like how much did the ball spend on hotels in 2025 and enter, I can see right here it's going to be able to generate all that information just within seconds, and you can see right here where it's actually getting that information from. It's all the PDF file. So I use this feature a lot when I want to, because when I come back from a trip, I need to again submit my expense reports, and then instead of going through each of my expense or each of my PDF for my hotel confirmation, I can just ask the RAG to help me generate a total expense that I spent on my hotels, and I just enter this amount in my expense report, and that's it. And I can just, if I want to get more detailed information, I can just click on this, and it will open that file for me. So then you can see right here, it's going to open that PDF file for me, and it's going to be able to, you can actually get more details about this particular file that you're looking for. So for also, like sometimes when you're traveling, right, and then you wanted to get the hotel confirmation number, if your hotel is not able to find that information for you, so you can just open up your phone and open up QSearch application and just enter the like just ask the QNAP. All right, so you ask the QNAP what is the hotel confirmation number, it will actually just, so instead of looking for that file inside your QNAP NAS, you just enter that information or ask the question to the QNAP NAS, and it will generate that information for you. It's going to give you the confirmation number right there on the screen. So you have to go open that information or find that confirmation number, open, like search for it, just look up that information, it'll give you that information right there on the screen. This is just for personal information. What if you wanted to, what if it's more no, working related, right? So for example, what is, I wanted to get information, like as a product manager, I wanted to generate an idea, information about the different operating systems that QNAP has. So I can just type that information. I can ask QNAP to just find the differences. So you can see right here is going to be able to find that information. Now, it can compare different types of file to help generate the answer for you. It's not going to be able to. So if I don't have to have this information in one single file, I just need to ask the question. QNAP Qsirch will be able to generate answers from different files to give you a comparison table or whatever you wanted to compare between devices or between particular patients or between particular customers. You just type that information and it's going to be able to generate the information for you. Like, right, so you can generate, see, you can see right there, you can generate a specific information about whatever information I'm looking for, even for different customers as well. Like a case study that we have done, it will generate that information about that case study as well, since it has all the documents information available. And you can see right here, it will always give you information about the related documents that you have that QNAP is using to generate that information from. All right, so hopefully that gives you information about different use cases or different questions. And also, it's a quick demo, but I wanted to give you information about how you can actually use this and what questions you can ask. There's one thing I want to make sure that you understand is when you ask questions, you have to be as detailed as possible. Like you cannot ask, what is my hotel spending, or what is my hotel spending for just for month of February. It will not be able to, may not be able to generate the information you're looking for. You have to be as detailed as possible because it's using your own documents. The more detailed question you ask, the more detailed answer you're gonna get. For example, instead of asking what is my hotel spending, you can for April, you can ask how much Deval spend on hotels in April of 2025. So Go as detailed as possible when asking questions. Remember, this is not using internet queries. These are all based off your local documents. So you have to make sure you keep your local documents in file when asking that information. Go as detailed as possible. Make sure you put in the right customer name as well, right customer information if you're searching for customer information. Put in the right dates if you're looking for something specific for a given year or month. So as much as detail as possible would be beneficial when using this particular feature. Right, so with that in mind, let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right, so let me introduce our partners at Western Digital, Brett Lytle, and he's a specialist, a business development specialist, and he'll be presenting something regarding Western Digital. So let me introduce Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hi, Deval. Thanks, and thanks for giving us some time today. So, like you mentioned, I'm a specialist on the business development team over here at Western Digital, and so we work a lot with QNAP, QNAP's customers and end customers like yourself and your customers to help all your storage needs, right? And so at Western Digital, we have a lot of different hard drives that you can choose from, and we have our color branded portfolio to help kind of define which drives are suited best for you and your customers. And specifically, we want to focus in on our red family of products, but we also have a lot of products for, desktop, for our blue products, smart videos, our purple, and more enterprise class products like our gold and ultrastar products. So specifically for our red family of products, we have two main brands, and each of these brands have different capabilities and attributes to help, service different use cases and kind of organizational sizes. So for the Red Plus, it's mainly geared towards kind of SMB and home users as well as power users. And typically we recommend only going up to 8 bays, and we have capacities going from 2 to 12 terabyte. And then on the Red Pro side, these are more of our enterprise class drives, where if you need to have multiple users, and there's no bay limit recommendation on this. You can have unlimited number of bays, and we have capacities going from 2 to 26 terabyte. And then all of the Red family drives have different features of like elevated workloads and MTBF ratings and warranties to help suit each of your needs. So our major technology for the Red drives is our NASware technology, and that is basically technology that fine tunes our hard drives to match NAS system workloads to work better with the QNAP systems. And that helps kind of increase the performance and the reliability, kind of just based off of those key parameters on the left there. We make sure that everything's been tested and qualified, as well as designed for continuous usage, and making sure that everything is reliable and dependable. So on top of that, we do have some new products that I'd like to highlight. We have a new 26 and 24 terabyte on our new 11 disk platforms. So these are just starting to ship into the market and readily available. So we're very excited about these products, and looking forward to answering any questions or anything that you guys have on any hard drive related topics. With that, I'll hand it back to you, Deval and Cliff.
Thank you everyone for joining our webinar today. Let's hope to see you next month for another set of webinars. Thank you very much. And thank you, Brett, for joining the webinar as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.